Good morning. Recently, it dawned on me that Jesus had two births, one from Mary's womb and one from his tomb. Our entire relationship with God through Jesus comes out of these two essential events. And I couldn't help comparing them. Which was the most powerful for me? Maybe because I'm a bit older, Easter more strongly touches my spirit. Lent and Easter services is my route to a spiritual high for the year. But as I believe that the birth of Jesus from Mary is as essential as is his birth from the tomb, I wondered why Easter was so powerful. I wondered about the symbols. Symbol of Easter, the cross, is ancient, well known around the world. We met Muslims in Iran, Hindus in India, Buddhists in Thailand, and the family next door who does not attend any church. They all know the story behind the cross. Christmas, of course, also has images, some from the Bible, some from Main Street, some from Wall Street. Many of these images are also understood around the world. One year we visited Thailand in late November. Even though 95% of the Thais are Buddhists, we heard Christmas carols in their department stores. We even saw people buying Christmas cards. When I asked why, the answer was, that's what people do on Christmas. But be it a decorated tree, or Santa Claus, or brightly wrapped gifts, these images send, at least to me, they're weak at exclaiming the coming of God's love into our world. There is, however, an ancient image that much more directly addresses love and God's incarnation. This image is as ancient as the cross. We have it right there before us during this Advent season. It's carved into our reredos. It is Mary holding God, the incarnate. And we are blessed to have this lovely portrayal of Jesus and Mary. For me, being carved into wood gives it much more character than a two-dimensional painting. It has depth. It has strength. Jesus' halo shines. It is for me more than a work of art. For me, the Madonna is the image of Christmas. One day, I spent some time all by myself looking up at the two of them. It became a bit like walking the labyrinth. Some new thoughts entered my heart and mind. I had an insight about the incarnation that perhaps many of you have already had. It is this. To me, the incarnation is more than Jesus being born from Mary. To me, it is the coming of his love, coming to love humanity in ways that would bring them greatest joy, greatest life, and do that for generations after generations. I could imagine Mary pondering her love as she looks down upon her son, asking herself, how do I best love him? What does he need most from me? I know I must do more than just keep him alive. I must love him in ways that allow him to be what God needs him to be and do. And as I looked at Mary and Jesus, I too thought about love, about how we express it today. I thought about the gifts we've wrapped. I wondered, would they please our family? Would they see in them an expression of the love we have for them? And I too look forward to the love I might receive on this Christmas day. It struck me that we all probably have a gift that we would love to receive beyond any package under the tree. a gift that we cannot put on a gift suggestion list. What are some? Maybe some people would ask for a hug. Maybe even a hug a day. It's a gift that's simple to give. It's not a gift of a thing. It's an action. But if baby Jesus had not received a hug or a touch during his infancy, he would have died from the lack of it. This is the fate of all fed and clothed infants that are not warmly touched. There's even a medical name for death through lack of touch. So yes, touch is literally life-giving to infants. Another unrequested gift of love for some might be being 100% listened to, perhaps 20 minutes a day, once a month, from somebody who actively listens. No interruptions from phone calls, no TV, no eating, nothing that would interfere with being listened to. Others might need love expressed by someone perhaps once a month doing their routine, their dull everyday tasks. Do them while they're out having some fun. I'm personally aware of someone who for over the last 56 years would put that on her list. There are others who would like to be loved by receiving a gift of time. Visit me might be how the gift would be expressed. Perhaps they are lonely and desire only the warm presence of another human being. Some might describe the love that they need by asking for words of encouragement, words of respect, words that would lift their spirits. Mark Twain said, "I can live for a month on a good compliment." These gifts are much more powerful in expressing our love for another person than any box of chocolates or a cashmere sweater. But back to the incarnation. I see it as God coming to be with us to reveal and to demonstrate what love is really all about. It is many things, but it's not about being obedient to a set of laws or rules or customs created by the culture we came to live in. The love was and is about loving the grown child who returns empty-handed after spending their inheritance. It's about loving a person, a stranger, very different from us, who's been robbed and beaten and lies dying in the gutter. It's about actively loving those in our neighborhood, our school class, or in our church who have needs that we can meet. It means actively loving those we are not in harmony with, loving those who seem to have failed us. As I contemplated Mary and the baby on the Rev, I wondered, why did God bring Jesus to the world through Mary? Why not have him simply show up as a fully grown human being, ready to go to work? Why was Mary needed in God's plan for the world? Why was it necessary to have Jesus come from a human being, a woman no different from women everywhere in the world? I realized that being born of Mary must mean something essential to the establishment of his kingdom, something essential for the rest of us at this time in our lives. It hit me that Jesus was totally dependent upon his parents, dependent for a long time. From the moment Jesus began to live, he needed them and others to do what he came to do. And eventually Mary, like every human being, needed Jesus. Without Jesus in our lives, we might live in a medical sense, but it would be without the life-giving meaning or purpose that Jesus provides us. So we were like Mary, uniquely bonded to Jesus and Jesus to us. As much as God is essential to us, we are essential to God. That is my view of the symbol of Christmas. Mary, human like us, united with the divine. And that's why we sing this season with gusto, joy to the world. Amen.